You will not believe what is coming. Some interviewers can really cross the line, and while plenty of celebrities might let it slide to keep things civil, not everyone is willing to let rude questions or disrespect fly. The stars we picked today aren't afraid to push back when things get out of hand, delivering some truly unforgettable responses. But before we go on with the video, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more discussions just like this.
Why the need for so much gruesome, graphic violence? Why not let us imagine
Because
a little
it's so
of it?
much fun, Jan. Get it?
Oh, really? Okay, I'd like to see you walk down the street and get attacked by some kids who've just seen your movie.
But you saw me. See, Jan, you're all messed up because you're talking about real life.
Oh,
and I'm
I see.
talking
And kids
about
at
the
12,
movies. You got to
kids
get
at
it straight.
12.
Now, if you want to talk about the movies, we'll talk about the movies.
Okay, and
if you
kids
want to
at
talk
12
about real
can
life,
tell
we'll
the
talk about real
difference.
life.
Kids at 12 can tell the difference. You tell their parents that, Quentin.
To give a bit of context, this interview happened while Tarantino was promoting Kill Bill back in 2003. The reporter started pushing the same tired argument that we've all heard before, which goes something like this. Violence in movies or video games somehow twists kids' minds and leads to real-world violence. Now, this argument has been debunked for years, and even CNN ran an article titled, quote, "Video games unlikely to cause real-world violence, experts say." Tarantino has always argued that films are an art form and that people, even kids, are tougher and smarter than critics give them credit for. He doesn't believe that anything in his movies will inspire violence in real life, but this lady seemed to come to the interview with her own agenda, completely missing that Kill Bill was R-rated anyway. Instead of having a conversation, she seemed more interested in trying to lecture Tarantino. It was like she just had him on the show to shout at him, and what she said next proves my point.
I saw movies when I was a kid, all right? I saw all the movies that I'm basing my movies on are the movies I saw as a kid, and yes, kids go to a movie theater, they can tell the difference. Maybe you couldn't when you were a kid, but I could.
Okay, honey, we're getting the hook. You're doing well, obviously. You're laughing all the way to the bank, and I know some
I'm
parents
having
would
a
love
great
to talk
time
to
making
you.
a terrific movie that people are having fun seeing. Maybe not you, but you know what, Jan? I don't think I made it for you.
I bet you didn't, and I'm glad you didn't. I'm just sorry.
Well, don't worry about that, baby.
We'll move on. You're doing great. What do you care about me?
The funny thing is, when you step back and think about the type of content that Tarantino's generation grew up with, the complaint feels ridiculous. You see, baby boomers grew up watching cartoons like Looney Tunes where characters would blow each other up, smash each other with hammers, and walk away completely unscathed. And let's not even get started on the old westerns or war movies that were hugely popular back then. Those films were packed with shootouts, fistfights, and high body counts, yet somehow no one was running around saying that they'd create a generation of violent criminals. By comparison, what we had in the early 2000s was relatively tame. This lady was clearly looking for something to be mad about without putting things into context. Next up, we have Samuel L. Jackson trying to get a reporter into trouble.
There's been a lot of controversy surrounding the usage of the N-word in this movie. And
no, nobody, none. The word would be...
Oh, I don't want to say it.
Why not?
I don't like to say it.
Have you ever said it?
No, sir.
Try it.
I don't like to say it.
Try it.
Really? Seriously?
We're not going to have this conversation unless you say it.
Will you say it?
No. That's not the same thing.
Why do you want me to say it?
They're going to bleep it when you say it on your show. So say it.
I can't say it. If I say it, this question, it won't make air.
Okay, forget it.
Okay, I'll skip it. Sorry, guys. It was a good question.
No, it wasn't.
It was a great question.
It wasn't a great question if you can't say the word.
Considering the fact that Django Unchained is set in the pre-Civil War South and revolves around slavery, the context behind the language in the film should be self-evident. It's a raw, unfiltered depiction of a brutal time in America history, and the use of the N-word is an unfortunate reflection of how people talked back then. I love how Jackson flipped the situation in a way that only he could. You could see the panic on the reporter's face as he pressed him to say the word, turning the whole thing into a hilarious and awkward moment. Jackson proved an important point that people are quick to criticize or question everything without really thinking about context or history, yet they're too afraid to even say the word they're so concerned about. At least the reporter had enough sense to realize that saying it could come back to haunt him later on because the internet is forever. But nothing comes close to 50 Cent's reaction when a reporter asked him a personal question. Watch how it unfolded here next.
What was that amount that you seen, the biggest check that you've seen?
In one piece?
Yeah.
It was like, I don't want to say that.
No, say it, 50. Come on, man. It's not for me. It's for
back down now.
No kids.
I got over my entire time with RBK. I got about $80 million out of it.
It's depressing.
For you.
To put things into perspective, the deal being talked about here was with Reebok kicking off in 2003, lasting for 5 years. At the time, the 80 million figure was already massive, especially for an endorsement deal with a sports brand, but when you factor in inflation, it would be worth around $117 million today, which is an insane amount of money. When you compare it to today's endorsement deals, the numbers show just how ahead of its time this agreement was. For instance, LeBron James reportedly made around $80 million last year from, quote, deals with companies that included Nike, Beats by Dre, and PepsiCo. But it was the reaction that followed from the host here that made the moment so special. Just watch what he said next.
And you still working?
Huh?
And you still working?
Yeah, like, I mean, look, for me,
What's wrong with you?
don't say to me, look, you know what you, look, my son's mom used to talk to me like that. That's why I don't talk to her no more.
All right, well, what's right with you?
Nah, you know why look, because when you, like, she thought we made it.
Right.
I said, yo, you gotta find something to do. She already thought, like, what you mean, stupid?
Yeah,
You already did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just stayed in the same
Mentality.
Yeah, same mentality.
Yep, even though 50 Cent made a ton of money from his music and various other ventures early in his career, what's really impressive is how he continued working smart and building his empire. Instead of just sitting back and enjoying his earnings, he focused on making strategic moves that set him apart. One of his biggest power plays was his investment in Vitamin Water, where he took an equity stake in the company in return for promoting its products, which led to a massive payout when Coca-Cola bought it for $4.1 billion. That deal alone reportedly earned him over $100 million. His ability to continuously adapt, hustle, and expand into new ventures has kept his wealth growing, and that's why he's now knocking on the door of becoming a billionaire. If you think that answer was brutally honest, wait till you hear how Conor McGregor responded to this interviewer.
So what is it that he did that disrespected you that got you to dislike him?
This is not a therapy session.
Well, no, but you accused him of starting this, right?
I said what I said. He spoke my name out of turn.
He spoke your name out of turn.
He should have kept his mouth shut. He should have given me my credit for what I have done for this division. I made this division. Without me, the division is nothing. Without me, he is prelim. He did not. Now I get him at every single opportunity.
It actually looks like a therapy session if you look at the setup of this interview. Moments like these prove that Conor McGregor is more than just a fighter. He's an entertainer at heart, which played a huge role in taking the UFC to new heights. Sure, his skills inside the octagon are undeniable, but his interview antics helped capture the world's attention and take the sport to the mainstream. You see, every press conference, weigh-in, or even casual social media post feels like an event when Conor's involved. He's a master of building hype, and whether you love him or hate him, you're tuning in to see what happens next. He understands that fans crave more than just the fight. They want the drama, the storylines, and the excitement. I'd love to know which of these moments was your favorite, so let me know down in the comments below. And if you want your friends to be informed like you, make sure to share this video with them.